My name is Kristen Connor, and I'm the Development Coordinator for Youth on Their Own. Youth on Their Own is a 30-year-old dropout prevention program in 125 schools throughout Pima County. So our mission, quite simply, is to educate and keep homeless youth throughout Pima County in school to their graduation. No 2 days are the same. So as far as fundraising events goes, we typically have a big fundraiser in the fall and a big event in the spring. So throughout the year, I'm kind of working up to solidifying sponsors for those events and soliciting for in-kind donations for our silent auction and stuff like that. That's kind of ongoing. With donor relations, it's a little bit different. You never know who you're going to meet, but I always have a list of donors that I'm cultivating and, individuals who are passionate about education and passionate about this community that I think would be a great fit to be a Youth on Their Own supporter there. The reason I chose Youth on Their Own is because I was a homeless teenager in New Orleans, and we did not have a program like Youth on Their Own where I was growing up. And I moved here to Tucson to do some volunteer work after college, and bam, right here in my face was a program called Youth on Their Own, and I thought, wow, Tucson and Arizona as a state is so lucky to have a program like this. I was one of these kids. I didn't have a program like this when I was growing up, and I think by having this program in the community, Tucson is being so innovative, and we are light years ahead of where other communities are, and education is so important. Education is the root of all success, in my personal opinion. So I know the struggles that these kids are going through, and if I can give back by raising money to make it possible, then I think that's where my skills are best put to use. My advice and my suggestion for them would just be to know that there are people in this community who see them when they don't think they're seen. And they're not invisible. There are people in this community who either work for this program or have supported this program and believe in lifting these kids up because they stay in our community. They become doctors and lawyers and teachers, and they are the future of Tucson. So I would just let those kids know, hang in there. People care about you. You're doing great, and you're not alone.
I volunteer at Youth on Their Own. I usually am at the front desk. I greet people as they come in. I help them provide actually water in the summertime, and I provide them with information. And I gather any articles that they wish to donate, and I help them fill out the forms that we have here. And that's basically what I do while I'm here. We're giving a kid a chance to have an opportunity. That's what Youth on Their Own is. Hopefully make other people feel comfortable about contributing so that the kids can have what they need. It's just not an arbitrary thing. We really need their money. We need their support. We need their donations of all sorts, because that's what makes this place successful. And without them, we can't have any of it. How sad it would be to go to high school or to go anywhere and not be like everybody else. It's not right. We live in America. We should have that. That's it.
I was given up by my mother. She pretty much raised me on my own for a while. My dad left when I was younger, so I grew up with her, and she has a lot of mental issues, and she wasn't getting the help she needed.
Found out I was pregnant with my son, and I told my dad about it. He got mad about it. He's, well, I want you to move out, so he kicked me out.
Like, they always make it seem like, what did you do to end up on the streets? Are you a druggie? Does your mom not respect you? Were you too much for your household to handle? And that's not it at all. It's just that some kids were put in a certain situation where, they weren't given a fair chance. They weren't able to get out. So all they did was just adapt.
It tears at your heart to think that a kid has got a different life than I did. And I have no idea how fortunate I was that I had the life I had. So I want to give back to anybody else who can make their life better.
My name is Daniela Zaza, and I'm a student advocate here at Youth on Their Own. I go out to the schools, speak to the liaisons. Usually they're school counselors that volunteer their time to take over YOTA responsibilities, which means that they take in student grades, turn them into me so that we can process their checks. monthly. They're kind of the communication point between the student and I, although I also work with students directly. A lot of the time I'm out at schools bringing them food, hygiene supplies, gift cards, I mean, you name it. Especially for my kids on the south side who are really far away from where our central office is. They really rely on me to bring them the supplies and food that they need. Youth on Their Own completely relies on the community. And I think one of the most surprising things to me about when I came to work for Youth on Their Own is how wonderful and supportive the Tucson community has been. And we certainly rely on you because all of our funds come from you. We get some grants, but we have no federal funding. So $1, $2, whatever you can give, whether it's a food pantry item or hygiene, whatever you can give goes a really long way for us. It makes a huge impact for our kids because they can't afford one deodorant, they can't afford that can of soup, and so it's really, really impactful.
So my name's Jackie Von Chaldy, and I am the College and Career Development Coordinator here at Youth on Their Own. What I do is help prepare them for what's coming after they get that high school diploma. I have conversations with them about those and make plans for them to make that dream a reality. I also work with the students who are in school right now and support them in finding jobs, doing job applications, interviews. I run our internship program, which takes place over at our home store, which is actually in partnership with the University of Arizona's retail colleges and NAC district. So we have some kids from there that come over and do retail classes with our students, and then our students go and apply those skills actually in a retail store for about 13 weeks. So that's a really cool program we also run. For a long time we were just focused on getting kids to high school graduation. And we've realized that's only a small piece of the puzzle, that there's a lot more to being a successful individual than just getting that high school diploma. And so we're trying to find ways to meet those needs of our students and create programs and sub-programs to help that. I think for me, when I'm having a conversation with a kid, whether it's because they got a job or they're applying for a job and they're super excited about it, or they come in and they show me their acceptance letter into the University of Arizona, that moment right there is what makes it worth it. That's why I'm here. They realize the amount of worth and the amount of value that they have and the skills and the strengths that they have as an individual that they can bring to this community, and helping them access that and leverage that and make that really a thing in their life is what matters.
At the end of the day, this community is us. All the people, all the businesses here, at one point they were us, and we can end up being just where they are and just giving right back to the next set of kids. But the only way that's gonna happen is if they decide to help, because we're not ones to beg, especially me. I'm not gonna sit here and beg for the help. But if they decide to give it to us, then it's gonna be real appreciated and we'll pay back.
If you want to support our Youth on Their Own, the main ways obviously are financial. So you can go to yodo.org and you can contribute monetary funds.